Hey guys, we're gonna be building the chocolate factory. This is just a little thing I built. There's no exterior. It's just to deliver the chocolate to. So I guess let's just get right into it, right? So for chocolate, we're gonna need some sugar, some cocoa beans, some milk, and an active blaze burner. That won't be too terrible. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna power everything with a steam engine originally, and then we can go from there. So we're gonna need probably a couple water wheels, some smooth stone, a mechanical arm, blaze burner, stuff like that. So if we just set this up really quick. We're also going to need a consistent source of fuel, which I think today is going to be lava. Okay, so this is the boiler all finished up. Just need to add a fuel source and then set up the steam engines. So from what I know, this charcoal farm design is pretty much everywhere. I'm not too sure who initially created it. Essentially, it's just a farm with a bulk smelter on the end. Okay, I believe you build up like that, and then place some linear chassis just like that before you do some mechanical saws, and then some deployers just like that. And then you're gonna add some oak sapling filters, do some more gluing, and then add some chests. Also, the portable storage interface is very important, obviously. Next, you're just going to want to add your mechanical bearing and a power source, which in this case is going to be the steam engine that's being powered by it. So it's a little weird, but hopefully everything works out okay. One very important thing is you need to make sure to set all of these linear chassis to be one distance, and same with these radial chassis, because if I go up above 6, you can see that it is including all of these fences, which obviously we don't want. Set this to 1 as well. Actually, I believe you should set this to 4, and then also set this to 4. This needs to be set to 1 though, just in case you have any weird blocks like here, and everything should function now if I add in a stack of oak saplings. No, I believe if I place this vertical gearbox, it should go the correct way. Yes. Okay. Something that's important to note is that this is also a really good apple farm if you're trying to make like honeyed apples. It also works for saplings and sticks, obviously. You can do it with really any tree type, but oak works best. For bulk smelting, you just need an encased fan, a power source, and a piece of lava. You can do a campfire if you're doing smoking and not just general smelting. And then you want it to be going fast enough to where it goes to the end of the belt, so that way it can smelt the most items at one time. And then just have, I'm going to do a mechanical arm that takes only charcoal and puts it onto the next conveyor belt, so that way the speed of this conveyor belt doesn't matter. So to make sure that the mechanical arm only takes charcoal, you're going to need a smart chute filtered with charcoal, and then set the mechanical arm to take items from the entire belt and the depot and deposit items into the smart chute. Okay, I do believe that it should be self-sustaining now. So, if I switch this around to drop logs, hopefully they will be smelted. The mechanical arm will move the charcoal over there, and the depot will be filled with charcoal, which will then fill up the blaze burners, making this spin quicker. That is an issue. Okay, very, very simple fix, I think. I mean, that technically works. You know what, sure. Now I just have to make an item vault. Okay, perfect. Done with the item vault. Okay, now that I've set up a power supply, I guess I should get started on the actual build. This was definitely overkill, because I doubt that it's going to take more than it would have for, honestly, like, a couple more water wheels. So I'm gonna have 147,000 SU going into a chocolate factory, which is probably gonna use at maximum 10,000, assuming I'm going at like literally 256 RPM. Okay, well, I guess it wasn't too overkill because it is a charcoal farm, and I need charcoal for the blaze burner anyways. Although I thought I was gonna do lava. Yeah, I definitely said that earlier. It doesn't matter. I have charcoal extra, or I have extra charcoal anyway. Okay, so the first ingredient is sugar, which is super easy. I'm just gonna make it out of sugarcane, obviously, crushing it. And then cocoa beans. I can probably use the same machine to get sugar and cocoa beans. And then an auto milker is super easy. And then I'll probably just turn it all into chocolate bars. Yeah, making a chocolate bar really isn't hard. So I think I'm gonna make just a bunch of chocolate bars, have like an assembly line of them. Okay, so I guess the first step is to mark out the perimeter, and then to find the most efficient way to put sugarcane, since I obviously need some water, but not all of it can be water. Okay, so I've been thinking for a little bit, and I think this is the shape that I want to use. It's pretty easy, it's simple, and it should work well. Okay, this looks like it will work. Obviously, I just need to hook it up to the main power source, and then also add some more harvesters, add the chest, add the portable storage, or the portable storage interface, and then add a cocoa bean layer on top, and then I just need an auto milker. Okay, so I don't want mob spawning underneath here, so I'm gonna place some slabs on the water, and then also place some lanterns. I will probably do the same to the jungle logs once I'm placing them. Once again, I have to change all of these to be 1, these to be 4, this to be 1, and then I don't actually know if I have to change these. I'm just not going to. I don't think I do. Okay, I think everything is working. I just need to hook it up to the main thing. Okay, so I guess the first step would be crushing the sugarcane into sugar, and then placing that in an item vault, placing the cocoa beans in an item vault, and then extracting them as they're needed, while a cow is being milked the whole time and putting the milk into a 3x3 liquid tank. Then we can mix it all up. Everything should work. Since the steam engine is putting out 64 RPM, I think I'm gonna build all of this to be 64 RPM instead of messing with gear ratios, because they're bulky, annoying, and overall just not worth it. Oh, and by the way, make sure to leave your feedback down in the comment section below. If you want to see more videos like this, let me know. If you want me to show more of something, or show less of something, like the building parts, or me explaining exactly what I'm doing, just let me know. I love create mod, but the problem is there's so many items that your inventory just gets clogged so easily. Like, I wish that you got a bigger inventory on the side instead of having to search up every once in a while, I'll clear my inventory, and then have to get all of my necessities back. Now, this item vault will be filled with exclusively sugar. Something I learned that not a lot of people actually know is that you can dye mechanical belts. I guess it's because it only really says when you're pondering it, and not a lot of people are going to be pondering mechanical belts since they're so simple. But yeah. So you can do it to sort items, like I'm using lime dye here because this is where sugarcane's gonna be, and then brown dye over here because this is where the cocoa beans are gonna be. On top of that, actually, you can just right-click with a belt to extend it, and also right-click with a wrench to go back one. You can do that on vertical belts, and also, like, actual vertical belt, so I guess the other one wasn't really vertical, it was just sideways. And you can even do it on diagonal, like this. So yeah, it's pretty cool. Okay, so I just finished up the item vault, and here's where the chocolate is going to be mixed. And then I'm just gonna put an auto milker right here. Okay, so I finished this up, and I also have the cow ready to be tortured. Honestly, it never gets any easier to put this cow into a torture device, but there really isn't much I can do. Alright, well the auto milker is finished, and yeah, I feel like a terrible person. Okay, I mean, we have everything. I think it's pretty much done now. Okay, now that we're making chocolate, we just need a smart pipe, and then extract the chocolate into a fluid tank, I think. And then we should be all good. Okay, we are now automatically producing chocolate. So now all we have to do is convert it to chocolate bars. Okay, so this is where the chocolate bars are going to be pressed. But what I want is I want you to stand here in the building of the chocolate factory. And then there would be a button, and when you press it, the roof is going to open, and then a chocolate bar will fly in with an ejector. And I don't think that that's going to be too difficult. So I guess the first step of that dream is to glue this together so that I can actually make it open, right? And then have this be right here, and that is 3 blocks of space, so it'll retract 3 blocks. And I believe if I just put like a gear shift here, and then I'm gonna have a redstone link, I'll set up a linked controller, so that way should do that. Perfect. And now if I get a creative motor, right, and I have it set to probably 32 in this direction, so that way when I hold S, it'll open, and when I let go, it will close. So now I just need to copy this on the other side, connect it to my steam engine, and everything should work fine. Okay, so I have the ceiling opening, which is nice. I really like that. Now all I have to do is set that up so I have ejector that throws the chocolate bars in. Okay, so if I set a weighted ejector, shoot there, and then place it there, I don't know if that will hit the building or not. So let's find out. If I put like a black carpet onto there. No, it will not. Perfect, okay. All I need to do is add a way to detect if something's on here, and then make the roof open. So I guess I'll start work on that. So as it turns out, because of the way the ejector works, there's no way to tell if something's on it. But a depot will detect if something's on it. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to have every chocolate bar get moved to this depot, and then have a mechanical arm swap it over here, and have a pulse extender, so that way this stays open long enough for the chocolate bar to fly in, and then the pulse extender will end, closing the roof right after the chocolate bar gets thrown. So I guess I'll try and make that. Okay, so if I take these off, place an item on the depot, and take it off immediately, it opens, waits a second, and then closes. I think that's enough time for a mechanical arm to move it from the depot to here on the ejector, and then the ejector to go off. So I guess we'll just have to see. Okay, so let me try this out. Hopefully, this will be pretty much perfectly timed. Falls in, and it closes. That's amazing. I love that. That's perfect. It's exactly how I imagined it. Okay, so now that the ejector's all set up, all I need to do is create the actual chocolate bar with a button, and then transport it to this depot, which I don't think will be too difficult. All I need is a couple redstone links. Okay, so now that I have the item vault that is being filled up periodically with chocolate bars, that is so satisfying. All I need is something to activate it so that a chocolate bar gets sent into the factory building. Now, something I thought that would look pretty cool is having this back wall be made entirely out of brass casing, except for the center parts, which would be a display board to show how much chocolate is actually in the item vault. And the reason this would be a brass casing is so that way I can hide a cog to activate the display board. So I think I'm gonna set that up. Okay, it is now all set up, and honestly, I think it looks really good. Now that that's all done, all that's left is the button to bring a chocolate bar in. And I already set up some buttons in there with a redstone link. So I think I'm going to do a type of monostable circuit, although I can actually just change it with a pulse repeater, I suppose, and have it go for 1 tick. I believe if I do something like that and a pulse repeater set to 1 tick, or 2 ticks, that works. That'll be fine, I think. And then do the same thing on the other side. It should essentially work as a monostable circuit. Okay, so over here I have these inverted so that they're on, and then when you press the button, they'll turn off for 2 ticks. So that way, hopefully this will only let out 1 item. Okay, that's not good. Set that to be a receiver. Alright, I need to fix that, but I need to go grab those chocolate bars. Okay, so everything should be working now. When you walk in, the first thing you see is the 156 chocolate bars, and it's live updating as you just saw. And then you'll see these. These are placards with golden sheets on them. And when you right click a placard with the same item that's inside of them, a redstone signal gets emitted, and I'm detecting that with wireless redstone links. So this is obviously a reference to Charlie and the Chocolate Factory with the golden tickets. And when you right click either of them, both of them work. Hopefully, if I look upwards, the chocolate bar should make its way to the ejector, and it will fly in. I didn't test this. Oh my god. Okay, it should be fixed now. I still haven't tested it, so I'm not entirely sure, but I am hopeful. That funnel flap in the bottom right is pretty good. That's pretty good. Oh, that's amazing. Okay, I'm really happy with that. I do want to just do one more thing. Okay, so, one more time. I removed all of the creative motors, and also I slowed down the roof moving, and I think that looks really good. So, that will be it for today, I think. Thank you for watching, and have a great day.